Okay. So, welcome for the first time or welcome back, whichever one applies. I'm Susan, and today I'm going to be talking about the science fiction / fantasy readathon. So, the science fiction / fantasy readathon, or the sci-fi summer readathon, is, well, I found it on seasonreading.blogspot.com. Well, I mean, that's where all the information is, but I actually heard it from Vaughan from Peter Likes Books. Okay, so the readathon actually started today, at 12:01 a.m., and it goes to next Wednesday, June 7th at 11:59 p.m. And it says, Central Daylight Time, but I'm just gonna do it in my own time zone. So yeah, maybe either post in late or post in early. I don't know. Okay, so, let's see. Since the sci-fi is a very specific genre, this will be a strictly reading science fiction during this event. However, since fantasy is closely related to science fiction, if you feel more comfortable reading fantasy, that's also fine. Why would you say science fiction strictly being read during this event, and then say fantasy's good enough? Just a random thing. Okay, to check in on social media, we'll use the hashtag SciFi Summer June. Because, first week of June. Okay. As usual, you do not have to have a blog to participate. Feel free to link up and check in on Goodreads, Facebook, Twitter, etc., such as YouTube. Or Goodreads. I probably will do Goodreads as well. These days, it seems like most of our activity goes on in our Facebook group, which I love. Which they love. I didn't say that. I'm just reading it. Yeah, I have no idea about their Facebook group. So, yeah. Anyways, so this is what I hope to be reading during this. Anyways, so what I'm hoped to be reading during this event is this glorious stack of books. As you can tell, there's actually one that's not a comic book, that's a book. The first one I have is this, which I don't know if it's supposed to be pronounced Odyssey or Ocity. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. I found it when I was at Half Price Books the other day, and it totally looks science fiction-y, but the more I look at it, well, okay, the back goes, a century-long war has come to an end. ODY-C, which I'm assuming that's how you say her name, ODY-C and her crew of weary warriors leave the ruins of this planet for home, but getting there will be the fight of their lives. Okay. So, I was like, yeah, this is going to sound interesting, sound fun, and it's going to be very colorful. But, the more I flip through it, it looks like an acid trip gone wrong. And I wouldn't know about that because I've never done acid. But I would assume this is what an acid trip gone wrong kind of looks like. Anyways, so Half Price Books was having their 20% off everything. So I found volumes 1 and volumes 2. I'm hope that I'm going to like this. But I have a feeling I already won't. But I'll read it anyways, just to see, what the hell happens. Okay. So, the second book I have, I'm just totally rereading, which, in a way, some people might say it's not science fiction or fantasy. To me, I don't see this ever happening, so it's science fiction. And it's Why the Last Man, Volumes 1. Yeah, I'm gonna just reread this, because it was so good the first time I read it, and this has artwork I do like, so, yeah. Y'all can tell me whether you consider it to be science fiction. Because, let's face it, it's not fantasy. And, it's one of those, I would consider it science fiction because I don't see it happening, but a lot of people will be like, oh, that's just, an apocalypse story going on. Something or another. Okay, anyways. So the next one I have is a book that I picked up because I wanted to read it and then just haven't read it yet. And so it's been sitting on my shelf. So usually how I pick books to read is goes, this book sounds good, I'm going to read that now. And for some reason I have yet to go, that book sounds good, I want to read that now, to this book. So I'm going to make myself read it. That's basically what every readathon is for me. It's just make myself read a book that I haven't just picked up naturally. So it is Bitch Planet Volume 1. I've heard amazing things about this, so I probably will like it. And yeah. I just like the fact that it's kind of a commentary on our society and how men interact with women, basically. So yeah. Okay, so the next one, I don't know why I always scratch my nose during these videos, but hey. So the next one is a book my brother got for me, actually. My brother has, either he has really good books, well to me, he has either really good books or really bad books. Again, that is according to me. For some reason, he either like hits the nail on the head completely, like just perfect, or it's like, why the fuck did you give this to me? So, one of the books he has been swearing by is Saga. And of course, I've heard about this book, and I was like, this kind of sounds cool. So, okay, and it's by Brian K. Vaughan, so again, it's part of that search for trying to find a book by Brian K. Vaughan that I don't like, which has yet to happen. And he also wrote Why the Last Man, which I'm rereading for this. Okay, so, from award-winning writer Brian K. Vaughan, Why the Last Man. Oh, he wrote for Lost? Had no idea. Okay, and critically acclaimed artist Fiona Staples. Saga is a sweeping tale of one young family fighting to find their place in the universe. When two soldiers from opposite sides of a never-ending galactic war fall in love, they risk everything to bring a fragile new life into this dangerous old world. Fantasy and science fiction are wed like never before in the first volume of this sexy, subverse, ongoing epic. And it's Brian K. Vaughan, so I'm probably gonna love it. I never actually, sat down to read this because my brother suggested it. And usually when my brother suggests things, it sits on my bookshelf or on my table or in my car for, a solid 4 months before I actually read it. And that entire 4 months before I read it, he always goes, have you read it yet? Do you like it? And yeah, so this has been in my car since Christmas, so. Well, not in my car, like it was in my car for like a month and then it became on bookshelves. Besides the point, I've had it since Christmas and I have yet to read it yet. So, I think it's about time, 6 months pretty much means that it's time to read it. Oh, well, technically 5 months, 6 months, whatever. Okay, and the last one, as I've already explained, is not a comic book, it's an actual book. And that's because I have recently fallen in love with the show of Game of Thrones, which everyone, anyone who watches it kind of, like, super loves it. It's like one of those, it's like Walking Dead. You watch it, you love it, or you don't watch it, and you don't really know what the hell's going on. Well, so it is actually based off a book written by George R.R. Martin, and so I have Game of Thrones. Yeah. So, I'm going to read this and see what happens as to whether I like the book more than the show or like the show more than the book. This is the part where everyone says, hey, follow me on social media. I don't have that much social media, so I suggest you subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram at Susan High School so you can see adorable pictures of the cat that is currently laying on my foot. Because he can't find a comfortable bed anywhere else, apparently. Fucking cat. But I love him, Yeah. Anyways, hope you have a great day, wherever you are. And I'm gonna stop talking now. Later.